We'll call our Utility Services Board meeting for June 15th to order. And first thing on the agenda is any petitions or communications from the public. Any updates? Any input from the public? All right.
Does that mean just people that want to speak?
That's it, yes.
Okay, I want to speak.
All right. Sir, if you could just step up to the podium there, give us your name for the record, and we'll be happy to hear your input.
Good. My name's John Simpson. I have been working on a project over on Rogers Street for Parks and Recreation. I call this Watergate 26 because some reason we keep interacting with Bloomington Utilities. Started, we had a truck, not a small truck, a big truck, drive around our road closure, jump the curbs, cross the plantings at Switchyard to get to Food Truck Friday. That didn't seem like a good thing, but I wasn't going to make a big deal out of it. Then we were digging in the street. We tore the street out. We had valid locates. My locates were cleared and showed as marked. But I think you had two different locators out there, and one guy who's a little, absolutely, in my opinion, overzealous, and came out and reacted in a way that he shouldn't have, because the locate wasn't done. In other words, we had a cleared ticket. We were clear to dig. And the locator came out, and of course he knew there was a large water main in the street. And he marked it. He had some interaction with one of my employees that I didn't appreciate. I felt that he was wrong. But that started the whole thing off, that he saw my personal water meter hooked to a hydrant. It's a relatively new meter with a backflow prevention. It's a suitable device to measure water consumption. That raised crosswalk requires what's called a multi-component pavement marking. I don't know that I ever thought they would really use that product. It's a terrible product in my opinion, but they refused to allow us to use traditional curing for it, so we had to use a wet cure with burlap. We needed water. We needed water continuously over the course of 4 days. Not a lot of water, a very small amount of water, but we needed water. We were working on a job for the city, trying to do the right thing, make the project work and do it right. And we were told we were no longer allowed to use water. The city was aware that I was using my meter, whatever. The locator made a big deal out of it, got somebody's attention, and we were told we were no longer allowed to use it. I feel like that's a pretty huge lack of cooperation. I've been doing this kind of work for a long time. I don't typically work in Bloomington, work in a lot of other places. I'm very used to the demeanor of utility folks. They can, and there absolutely is a demeanor that comes with the work that they do. And we work with utilities successfully all over. I get meters from all kinds of other places. I use my meter in a lot of other places. Never have any trouble. I'm always there to pay for it. We're not trying to steal anything. We're trying to do a job. We're trying to do a job for the benefit of the city. It was then told us that we could get a meter, but it was going to be $5,000. $5,000. And I went and I pulled the invoice from when I bought mine. I don't know, it was less than $300. So I felt $5,000 was excessive, not appropriate. I did start digging into it, and I found pricing on the city website for what the deposit is for meters, and it was not $5,000. We were running a garden hose, 5/8 garden hose. I guess, what do I want to accomplish here? Well, one, we're about to do another very small piece of wet cured concrete. We'd like to have water. you know, and I don't want to pay $5,000 to get it. I feel that that is completely and wholly unreasonable. The idea that utilities can't cooperate with us doing a project for Parks and Rec, I struggle with that. I don't think that would happen in most other municipalities. I guess I would like to, I don't know. That's what I'd like to have water when we need it. But that very well may be the last time that we need it. I don't know. We may need other water. The water we may need beyond that, if we need big amounts of water, we're not going to get it off that hydrant. I don't know. I felt it was important enough to take time to come down here and bring this up. Invite any response. I know you probably can.
Well, thanks, Mr. Simpson. We'll,
Could you stay up there? Sure. We may have questions.
Sure.
yeah, so to kind of recap the story, you've got a contract with Parks and Rec to do probably that project that's right there at the entrance to Switchyard Park
Correct.
at Rogers Street.
Correct.
Okay, and you needed water for the crosswalk with the specifications that.
To cure the, which it wasn't specified to wet cure. Nobody would ever wet cure. You use a spray-on sealer, which acts as a curing agent, but don't get me started on the folks up that way. They weren't going to allow it because the problem is, say you used a curing compound, which is the only way to cure the concrete, aside from wet curing, you'd have to go grind it off. So we were going to spray it, and then we'd have to grind it off. Well, it's a good finish on the concrete. You don't want to grind it off.
Right.
That would be detrimental.
Okay, so you needed water and you used one of the nearby hydrants.
Yep,
that we use for fire protection.
correct.
And the meter that you were using was your own personal one,
Correct.
okay? And so what I guess my next question for our staff is, do we require, we probably do, probably require our own meter to actually measure the amount of water that's being used, is that right?
Correct.
Okay,
And I did provide photographic evidence of, I think my meter had 900 gallons on it, and I think we might have used 400 or 500 gallons, something like that.
yeah. Well, I can see where,
But as
Yeah.
I tried to get a meter, $5,000. I mean,
okay. So what's our rate for, is there a deposit on the meter, or do we, I mean, we obviously want to provide the meters for folks to be able to use them. What are the rates? Anybody know?
Yeah.
There we go. Come on up.
I was the one communicating with Mr. Simpson, and I sent him an email telling him I was incorrect. The cost of the meter for us is $3,950. On our website, we have $2,600 as a deposit, for a safety deposit. We have a big box where everything comes in and it can be locked on or whatever. We used to be able to buy those at $2,600 for a 2-inch and a little less for a 1-inch. That person who had the patent on it sold it to a distribution company, and they upcharged it now, and this is what we charge. I'm working with Chris because the website isn't updated for actually how much it cost us for that meter box. So yeah, and I sent an email to Mr. Simpson letting him know that, and the reasons why we don't allow private meters with backflow prevention devices on them, just as a safety issue.
Yeah, and it's in a better way for us to keep track of the,
usage, yeah.
yeah.
but, and there is the city's website offers a locked meter or an unlocked meter. I didn't need a lock. Nobody stole mine. Mine's $300. I don't know. I can probably save the city some money if you'd like me to start sourcing your water meters. I bet you I can get you a better deal.
So that's a $2,600 deposit, right? You get it back when you're done using it, and then you pay the amount of usage.
Which doesn't bill unless it's over 1,000 gallons.
Yeah, okay.
My understanding, my limited understanding.
Yeah, well, I don't know where the 5,000 came from. Oh,
Like,
okay.
I knew we had just increased the cost just increased to us, and that's what I thought the number was. And I told him I'd check on it, and I did, and that's when I replied to his email that I had the incorrect number. I sent him the invoice of what we pay for it, so he could see that I wasn't, just giving him a number, so.
Okay.
But that was for I guess in fairness, that was for the lockbox. We didn't need a lockbox. We needed a $300 meter. And anything that's 2,000, 5,000, thousands, it should be hundreds, I don't know.
Yeah, we'd have to get into the engineering parts of the specifications that we asked for. I don't know about those details, but, our folks could probably dig into a little bit of that. So the first part of your conversation was the locator service that came to talk to you. Was that one of our contractors, or was it one of our employees?
One of our employees, Dan Clearich, he's been here for over 30 years. And again, a different employee who's been here for a long time had the locate ticket. I had an email conversation with Mr. Simpson about the way they had filled out the locate on there. It was a dig ticket, but there's a section in that locate that you fill out that you tell how deep you're digging, how far you're digging, and that all said 0. And so our original locator assumed that they weren't digging in the ground based on that information, and so he put CBU okay, which wasn't, he could have went out there and located the line, but he saw the locate ticket that said 0 on there in depth and distance of the dig, and so he just put okay because he didn't think they would be digging down to our water main. When Mr. Claridge saw them out there digging, he got concerned. He has a lot of concern about everything. And so he had this interaction with them and wanted to get the line located and had concerns about someone digging out there without a locate, but there had been one.
Yeah, because we have our
Yeah.
share of all kinds of different diggings that are going on right now with fiber optics and everything else, and we've got to keep a handle on that. I understand. Yeah. Okay.
I have 5 I have another ticket there. City's got it all marked. I have 5 recalls in it to get gas marked. I can't get gas marked. 5 calls. There's nothing you can do anymore. You can't dig. You can call all day. I've called everybody from wherever, but.
Holy moly is supposed to do that within a certain amount of time. right?
No, that's not how it works anymore.
Okay.
The gas company has got a very powerful voice in the state legislature, and
Yeah.
they control the IURC to our detriment. And absolutely, it is now the utility agency's benefit. The contractor, if they don't locate it, you can't go until it has to be marked, or a response of cleared and marked, which I had on the other. And as far as an ambiguity to how I call my locate tickets, I always have for 20 years, I call unknown depth. I always say unknown. I mean, and the latest exact ticks only allows them to enter a number. I don't know that they're entering 0. They're told it's unknown. They're converting unknown to 0, not the same thing. The line above, they can enter the word unknown, but for depth, they can only enter a number, and they enter 0. But design tickets, you can call a design ticket where there's no digging involved, but I don't understand why somebody would call a ticket with 0 digging.
Okay. Yeah. Jim?
Yeah, thanks. I'm still confused about the $5,000. If that's a charge, would that all be reimbursed?
It's just a deposit. Yes.
So it wouldn't be coming out of your pocket?
Well, I understand.
Okay. Okay,
Me and other parts of the city aren't seeing eye to eye on getting paid right now. I have 5,000, I'd be happy to, but me giving $5,000 to the city of Bloomington that can't pay me for work I did in March,
no, I get,
I struggled with that, and I openly, so that's not your guys' fault, but I wasn't gonna give up 5,000. I mean, We do this everywhere else, and it's a couple
Well-
$100.
Well, if you're working for Parks and Rec, and there's a requirement of $5,000, shouldn't Parks and Rec put that up?
I wouldn't have asked them to.
I'm just asking. It just, you know.
They
it seems-
helped us get water. They brought us a tank out. I have tanks that I could have brought. They had theirs. They're handy. I think they wanted to help us because they wanted to help. And we were doing a pretty difficult task there, and we made it work, but it was a long way around. We had a long workaround.
Okay, thanks.
Other questions? Well, Mr. Simpson, I want to thank you for coming by, because it's good for us to be able to interact with our customers and folks doing work in the city. It provides us input about how operations flow, and as we continue to make decisions to make things work the best, it helps for us to hear different inputs.
And I appreciate that. It doesn't do me any favors to come in here and
Yeah, it's your time. Yeah.
well, it's not just that. I mean, down the road, it can always not go well. But
Well,
if you don't hear it and you don't hear it from me, it's you don't hear it then.
Well, I'd say in general, our guidance and our the real philosophy here is that we try to do our best to work through complex things, and what I've learned over the years is that some of this stuff takes longer than you want it to.
Nothing's simple anymore.
That's right, and I know that there are places that make things a lot easier, but then they end up having bigger problems down the road sometimes too. Some places are just simpler. Some folks don't have, some municipalities don't have lines that have been laid 100 years ago that we're not quite sure where they are, and then we've got a layer of gas on top of that, and now we've got a layer of fiber on top of that, and you live that every day, and we're having a tough time with that too. Folks are clipping our lines when they're putting fiber in these days, and we have neighborhoods flooded because of that, and this is tough. And I appreciate you coming in and letting us know about it. Please do work with us and our staff. Give them as much time as you can. I know that you've got a contract to get work done, and you only got so much time to get it. The more time it takes, the tougher it is for you to make a living, and we get that too.
We pushed real hard to get that road open right away.
Right.
We shouldn't have. I poured that thing twice because it didn't meet our standard, and there was issues in the design. We tore it out, redid it a second time. Had we been going slower and taken a little bit more time, might have done it once. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's done right now.
Yeah, and they had some big events down there they were trying to get it open for.
Strawberry
I know how that
shortcake.
is, yeah.
Yeah, right. Anyway,
I was
well,
there
I
for
appreciate
that.
it.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Anything else? All right, good. Thank you for coming by. All right, I failed to list our mission statement, and that is that CBU's mission is to enhance the quality of life in our community by providing safe, sustainable, and high-quality water, wastewater, and stormwater services in a cost-effective manner, promoting public health, economic vitality, and environmental stewardship. And our vision is to be the leading municipal water utility organization in Indiana, and then also to remind all of our board members that if you have any conflicts of interest on any of the items on our agenda this evening, to be sure to recuse yourself from those items. Okay, next on our agenda is the certification of the executive session. And I need to ask a question about whether in our certification, is that just a signature or do we need to vote on that? Just a signature. Okay, well, we've all seen that in the minutes, and just for the public record or those watching at home for entertainment, this was the executive session that was held on May 26th, and that lists the board members present as required, and no final decisions were made or subject matter discussed in the executive session other than the subject matter specified herein, and we will just certify that we did that, and that will be in the record for this meeting's minutes. Okay. Next then is approval of the minutes of our previous meetings, May 26th special session and the June 1st meeting. So first, has everyone had a chance to see the special session that from May the 6th? Yeah, May 26th, excuse me. Everybody good with that? Well, I take a motion to approve the minutes from the special session.
I move that we approve the minutes from the special board session.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. We got those minutes from our special session taken care of. Next is June 1st, our regular meeting. We've had a chance to review those minutes. Any questions or corrections?
I move that we approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Any discussion on the minutes? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Minutes are approved. Next is standard invoices for today. Any questions about the standard invoices?
I make assumptions on these, and that's never safe. Principal and interest on solar panels, I assume that's us paying off previously installed panels that we, okay.
Yeah.
And then the health premium, that's just us paying for our health insurance for our employees, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Just a lot of large ticket items, but very essential items this month.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Matt, do you know how long we've got yet to pay on our lease purchase of the solar?
That I don't know.
Okay.
Sure.
And then I also saw there was a State Board of Account audit fee. I assume that's just a standard thing that they do, and any issues with their audit?
No, it's just standard operating procedure, so.
Love it. Thank you.
Okay, the total for standard invoices is $2,412,075.46. Any other questions? All right.
I move that we approve the standard invoices.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve standard invoices. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. The standard invoices are approved. And let's see, we've got revised utility bills next on the agenda. Due to, in the record, we had a mix-up with the tables that we approved back on April the 1st, so that's been corrected to the correct amount, being $10,204.09. So, any discussion on that correction? All right.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
What's the relationship between the 206,000 and the 10,000? Like, is that gonna be
The two,
changed?
so, on the April 1st meeting, or the June 1st, or April 1st, sorry, we just shared a wrong spreadsheet. So we paid the correct amount, which was the $10,000, but we included the $200,000 spreadsheet in error.
Okay, so there was never
Correct.
$200,000 involved.
Correct.
Got it.
Okay.
I move that we approve the memorandum.
Second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to approve the revised utility bills for April 1st. Any other discussion? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Got that done. And next are utility bills. And let's see. Find utility bills.
It's on page 24.
Which page is it?
24.
24? You got 25, yeah. Ah, there they are.
Oh, that's the old
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Good, yeah, it's utility bills for June 11th in the amount of $261,020.06. Any questions on the utility bills?
I see CBU in there. Are we paying ourselves? Is that a normal thing?
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. We even write ourselves a check. Sometimes we mail it. Sometimes.
We don't give anything away for free, Graham. We have to pay ourselves for our own water and wastewater, huh?
I think we get a discount.
Yeah, we get a discount, yeah. All right. Good?
I move we approve the utility bills.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve utility bills. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right. Motion carries. Next are wire transfers in the amount of $651,229, it looks like. My page runs a little off there.
221.12.
221, okay. All right, there we go. Any questions on the wire transfers? Typical?
I move that we approve the wire transfers.
Second.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Now we're up to customer refunds. Anybody list there? Any questions on customer refunds?
Another assumption, but is a crossed meter adjustment when we cross up the meters between
Yep, okay, you got it.
well-defined term. Thanks.
Yeah. All right, any other questions on customer refunds? All right.
I move that we approve the customer refunds.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the customer refunds. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, refunds are approved for those accounts. Next are the special check run accounts payable distribution report. These are all our bond payments in the amount of $4,999,540.21. Any questions on
Remind me
those?
what the sinking is.
It's an accounting term. It's an account that we move cash into to make sure we have the cash to cover these bond payments.
I move that we approve the bond payments.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded to approve the bond payments. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. We have done our obligation to the bonds for this part of the year.
Till
Thank
December.
you. Matt feels much better now, right?
Exactly.
All right. Next is the consent agenda. Director Zeiger.
Good evening, Catherine Zager, Utilities Director. I'm presenting tonight's consent agenda totaling $8,350 with one contract with Wheeler Coaching Systems LLC for $8,350 for executive leadership training at the Utility Service Center. Is there any member who wishes to consider one or more of these items individually? Hearing none, if there's no opposition, these items will be approved as recommended by staff. Hearing no opposition, the consent agenda is approved.
All right. Next is the request for approval of the Duke easement for the Fire Training Center. And our attorney, Chris Wheeler, will give us an update on that.
Good evening, Chris Wheeler, City Legal. A few months ago, I was here before the board to discuss another Duke easement that dealt with the new daycare facility up on Summit. This easement should look remarkably the same. They are providing utility service to the new Bloomington Fire Building down on Winston Thomas, and the document they provided to us was the same one. We had the same issues. We asked them to make a few changes. They made those same changes, and now we're before the board to ask for approval so that utility service can be run through the easement to the building and provide them with the necessary service.
All right. Any questions for Chris on the easement approval? Looks like we've got good progress going on the building down there.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
I move that we approve the memorandum with Duke.
Second.
All right.
Easement.
Moved and seconded to approve the easement with Duke Energy. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Motion is approved. Thank you. Next is the request for approval of the service agreement with GRIP Incorporated.
Hi, folks. I'm Matt Dabberton. I'm the Environmental Program Coordinator for CBU. This is another contract with GRIP Incorporated for the maintenance of our sewer level and corrosion sensors in our sewer system. So they're installed in about 20 different manholes throughout the system. They measure the sewer level for which helps us monitor for overflows and backups, as well as corrosion. We've used GRIP for the past 4-ish years to maintain these sensors, and so this is another year of the same, essentially, just continuing to maintain these into mid-2027. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Matt.
Just curious, are the sensors moved around year to year, or you pretty much keep them in the same 20-ish locations?
We budget for a certain number of relocations. I think it's around 8 or so for this year. I'd have to check the quote that's included in that contract. So they do get moved around occasionally. We have some that we leave in place. A lot of them are in known locations where we've had troubles with overflows in the past.
Okay, any other questions, discussion? All right.
I move that we approve the contract with GRIP Incorporated.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve this contract with GRIP Incorporated. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is the request for approval of the third amendment to the service agreement with VET Environmental Engineering, LLC.
Hi, Chris Wheeler, City Legal. I'm going to look at something real quick, if you'll just bear with me, please. Okay, so when you're looking at the memo, so this is for an amendment to the vet agreement. It's ongoing preparation for litigation, but the memo suggests that the agreement is for $25,000. The actual adjustment to the existing agreement is $205.51. The total of the not to exceed is $25,549.08. So that's what I wanted to look at. I didn't think that looked right on the memo. The memo's wrong, the contract controls, we're good to go. We should see another amendment come down the line because mediation was not successful. It's ongoing, but it's currently not successful. There will need to be, they may actually take, this is just for preparation to get ready for the deposition. There's going to be very likely a deposition taken. So we're probably going to see another amendment. And if we get to trial and vet has to testify, we're probably going to see one more after that. So that's what we're looking at. And I'm happy to take any questions, as long as we're not getting into litigation itself.
Right, so Chris, just to clarify, the total on the contract is what we're approving is just a small increase.
$205.51 today is what you're approving.
All right.
You're going to see a much bigger one this next time around, if in fact the deposition takes place. I would expect.
All right. That makes sense. Questions or discussions on this? Well, we appreciate your continued work on it. Guess we're ready for the question.
The motion.
The motion, yes.
I move that we approve the amendment to the agreement with Vet Environmental.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
And then we have the request for approval of the third amendment to the service agreement with, change order number 3, the approval with Kreider and Kreider. Kevin White's here.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Kevin White, Capital Projects Coordinator. This is the final change order. This is just to rectify quantities and provides CBU a deduct of $14,800. So the project is finalized. We're waiting on final payment from the grant folks to provide that with the retainage to Kreider, and then the project's done. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
So we're saving money on this one.
A little bit, yes, sir.
All right.
Better than the other way.
So we
Yeah.
thought there was an increase and then,
No, we had planned for additional tree removal,
Okay.
and they didn't have to get into those on one side of the building. It was predominantly just on the north side. So that $14,800 is related to the tree removal and landscape restoration in that area.
Great. Other questions, discussion? All right.
I move that we approve the change order with Kreider and Kreider.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the change order. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up is old business. And if I remember right, we had one item that was kind of left over from a couple of weeks ago from the citizens that came to talk to us about their backflow issues. Yeah, on Cottage Grove, that's right. Thank you. Hi.
Good evening, Phil Peden, Engineering. So we've been investigating this and working with James Group, and so we've reviewed the televising reports on different sections of the sewer near the home. We're also scheduling a smoke testing and dye testing. So dye testing, we have to enter the home. So we've reached out to David, the property manager. We still haven't reached him, but we're trying to get that set up, and then we'll smoke test. What we're trying to do is see if there's some place where storm sewer got tied into sanitary sewer recently. And so within the last year, CBU has replaced some of the sewer mains in this sewer system. And so we're trying to see if somehow what we considered a lateral was some type of storm drain that was tied in. We've reviewed the pre-videos and the post-videos since the sewer was built. We don't see anything that stands out there, but the smoke tells us. So we want to see if that will indicate anything. We also, through some details that we uncovered, I guess when the plumber was out, they snaked the line, ran something down the line to try to clear it. And that went about 150 feet, crossed the intersection, went down Dunn Street till they ran out of line. And when Paul Chasteen used the camera to go up their lateral from Cottage Grove is where they're tied in, it just went a short distance right to the house. So what I believe is that it's possible they have two separate laterals. One went to the basement floor drain, then possibly they changed that into a rental where they started to separate the home into different apartments, like a triplex or duplex type set up, and they needed an additional restroom, so they added a toilet and a bathroom in that basement, tied it into the drain that was already there, might have been tied into the storm sewer. So that additional lateral that goes a different direction might be tied to storm. It might have got hit by fiber optic. It was in the public right of way. It obviously crosses the intersection and goes down Dunn Street from the report we heard. That could have been struck by fiber because it wouldn't have been located. So there's some possibilities that we're looking into, but we're hopeful that the dye test will tell us which system it's tied into first, and then maybe the smoke will indicate some other areas where storm water may be entering the system.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for following up on that and staying in touch with the customer.
Yeah.
We can find some solutions either on our side or their side.
I hope so, because, they've had 7 backups in less than a year. Something's changed dramatically, and they said they've only had the property, or I thought they said 19 years, and it hadn't happened. So something definitely changed, and we want to find out what it was. I might actually want to add my 2 cents on the gentleman that spoke earlier. I just feel like if you steal a candy bar from Walmart or you steal a big screen, it's the same crime. And so if you steal a gallon of water versus 1,000 gallons, it's the same crime. But I think what we've seen, we've dealt with this in the past where you rent these water meters and they're supposed to put them on, they're broken, they haven't brought them back in to calibrate. So there's a drive-by test, and the crews are aware of it, and other utility employees are aware that if you see someone using a hydrant, you want to make sure they're using the proper one that has a meter with the proper backflow device. So on this project, wasn't any utility work, it was just parks. Maybe street might have been there inspecting. They're not going to know that. They're going to just look, is there a meter on that? And so it passes the drive-by test. It passes the test with the other city departments that might be looking. But you wouldn't know that wasn't a CBU authorized meter, and you wouldn't know that it had the proper backflow device. So it's not uncommon for contractors to be somewhat sneaky and put a meter that doesn't work on there, or one that he's bought that looks like a legit meter. And without him bringing in that paperwork for us to set that account up, I doubt he's ever going to pay. He said he read the meter twice, but did he send the meter reading to us? So the other big component is it's theft if it's not turned in, but it's also the risk to the public water supply.
Right.
Matt Dabberton's here this evening he works stringently on the backflow and protecting the water system. And without the proper ones that we authorize, and you see, oh, that one costs $2,600 and his costs $300, may not meet the standards to protect the system. So I think there's a lot more to it that he didn't explain that once you've been here a while, you realize. So just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Can I ask a question on the other?
Yeah.
Can you just explain what the smoke and dye tests, how that works?
Sure. So we have some very strong dye. It only takes a few drops. You put that in the sink, run it a while, or you flush the toilet. We can go downstream and we can put someone watching the storm manhole and the sewer manhole, and then we can see which line that comes through. And so it's bright green, red, and I think there may be another color, but it's pretty evident. The only challenge you get sometimes is it's so dark if the manhole's really deep that you can't see color at that depth. So usually I have to have a flashlight in the point that it's that deep. The smoke testing, we have these industrial stress smoke bombs, and Matt Wilson, our technician, said, I don't know how many we've got in supply, but it's close to the 4th of July. I'll just go down to the fireworks store and get a couple if we need some. But no, they're more like industrial strength smoke bombs, and they last about a minute and a half. And we have a gas-powered fan that sits perfectly over a manhole that has a chamber on the side. So you light the smoke bomb, set it in the chamber, kick the fan on, and it'll blow the smoke up the line. And it obviously finds a relief point. And so once you do that, start the smoke test, you'll see it coming out of all the bathroom vents in the home as you go. And sometimes you might see it, we're trying to see if it's coming out of that's properly plumbed home, that's where you're gonna see it. If it comes out of a downspout or a gutter or a garage drain or a floor drain or a clean out in the yard, then we've obviously got spots where water could be coming in those locations. So.
What's the advantage of one versus the other?
So what happens with the way the interior plumbing is, the smoke won't come back up through, so you can't tell exactly where you're connected in the home. You can tell outside if something's improperly connected. So you have to have the dye testing for the internal check and smoke for external.
Thanks.
Good follow-up there. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, any other old business from the board? Any other old business from staff? Okay. New business from the board? New business from staff? We didn't have any subcommittees, I don't think, since the last meeting. So, staff reports.
First, we'd like to congratulate Garrett Hill and T&D, who was promoted to the specialized crew leader. And I'd also like to recognize our 2025 and /2026 Hurdy Award recipients. First is Kevin Williams, who is celebrating 45 years of service in the water industry. For reference, the Hurdy Awards are awards that recognize individuals having 25 years or more of service with one or more Indiana public water utility. First, Kevin Williams, who has served in the water industry for 45 years. Next is Craig Abbott, who has served for 35 years. Eric Love, who served for 30 years. Al McKaylee for 30 years. Mike Runyon for 30 years. Brian Shipley for 30 years. And finally, Davey Myers for 25 years. Thank you all for your many, many years of service to the utilities.
That's great. Thanks. Good to have that in the record. Thank you, Kat. Any other reports from staff? All right, we're good. Any other petitions or communications from the public? Anyone else? All right, seeing none, I think we are adjourned. Thank you.